Hi everyone, welcome to PhoebeSpeaks.
Okay, what's your name? What's your last name?
Oh God! Phoebe, you gotta put your nail down on the hole.
I'm Phoebe and your host, and this is a series talking all about dyslexia, my life, maybe even your life. I'm 18, I'm a senior, and this is my first time around doing a podcast, and honestly, it's so much harder than I thought. I've had trouble with reading pretty much my whole life. Pre-K, I didn't know how to spell my own name. It was a different spelling every day. Sometimes I would pop in an F, and other times there just wouldn't be a B, and then it's like, what is my name, Phoebe? So this is my story. I think I might do an episode in the future, like further diving into who I am. There's a lot that could be unpacked, definitely not in episode 1, or else you may just never come back and watch again, which is not what we want. We as in me. I was diagnosed in first grade. I had been going to a private school where I met my best friend, and I was having a very hard time with reading, but I didn't even notice it. There was a person who kept talking about how they finished so many Harry Potter books, and let me just tell you, to this day, at 18 years old, I have not ever read a Harry Potter book. I'm sorry. I didn't even know what that was. But whenever I saw that book size, I was reading Bob books, which no hate on those. In reality, I felt so bad about myself, which you shouldn't. And that's something I've learned to live with and overcome, and the fact that, I'm not dumb. I'm not stupid. So in second grade, I switched schools and I was going to my local public school, and I think my parents thought that that was going to be better help for me, which in some ways actually wasn't helpful at all. And this teacher who I had, she would keep re-giving me spelling tests, and it would be the same words, same spelling test, just new sheet of paper every day. And obviously that wasn't helpful for me. And one day, whenever I just couldn't do it anymore and I was crying, basically it was like,
what are you, stupid?
That is a crazy pull to say to a second grader. Oh my god. Then my parents went on a hunt and they're like,
okay, we're getting you out of the school.
Which they didn't find out about that story until recently. I guess I never told them. So then my third grade year, I had left that public school for
very good reasons.
And I had started at a school called Provident Charter School. The school provided me with so much help. Actually, I went in probably not knowing how to spell cat, and now I left in 7th grade knowing how to spell supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. It's SUPERCA. Okay, so in 3rd grade, I started my new school with my mom because she is a teacher, and through the school, they taught us how to read through a program called Wilson, which is an intensive research-based program that teaches reading and spelling to students in grades 2 through 12 and adults with dyslexia or other language-based learning disabilities. It provides a systematic structure. The program uses a multi-sensory approach with consistent review. And then we would do all these different techniques. If we were spelling Friday, we'd have to do it with 2 fingers on the table, and we would do it in air, and it'd be when a plane flies over someplace and sometimes there's those little streaks. I would always imagine that, which honestly it
baffles me.
I have
no
idea how my brothers learned how to read, or even my dad or my stepmom or my stepdad, because I learned in such a way that's so different. And then they're like, oh, we just looked at it and learned. That makes no sense to me, which that's just me. I think the first time that I actually realized that I saw the world differently was in 8th grade whenever I had switched to my current school. It was a huge change for me. First of all, I've been going to a public charter school, and now I'm going to a private all-girls school, which was just even the words public and private mean a lot in this sense. It was a completely different experience. I realized that I'm just a completely different person than these people. Even though I felt that I had finally caught up on the reading level as other people, to me, it was also, there was so many building blocks in between that I had missed. And that wasn't Providence' fault or anybody's fault exactly, but For me, it was definitely like everybody had known how to write a research paper, and at the time, I didn't learn how to do that, and it's just Providence goal was to teach us how to read, and then also the other things that are important, but it was mainly for our reading support. So whenever I switched to the school I go to now, there was first of all homework, second of all my history research paper, end of the year, first big grade, got a C. So that was a big punch in the gut. And let me just tell you, going from a C in my history paper to an A last year in my junior year, that is a big jump and a big jump of progress. And just now, like about 2 weeks ago, I got 100% on my English essay, which is huge! Probably the best grade that I've ever gotten on in English. It was like, literally, like, I was so surprised. Anyways, so whenever I switched to this new school after 8th grade, more so 9th grade, I kind of saw my inner superpower come to light, to say it for lack of a better terms. Even though I have trouble with reading and certain other skills alongside reading, like sometimes math wasn't always easy for me, history wasn't always easy for me, figuring out my way of studying wasn't easy for me, I learned how to be my own self-advocate. I cannot stress this enough. Learning how to advocate for yourself probably is the best skill you can have in your life. I mean,
Alongside other things.
throughout my elementary school years, I kind of learned how to ask for help. And a lot of people think it's like annoying if you're that one person who constantly is asking questions, or that one person who is always like asking for clarification and they're like slowing down the class. But honestly, I think that it helps the majority of people. My biggest thing that I've learned throughout my life is it's okay to ask for help and it's okay to be different. That this podcast is more than just a podcast for dyslexia and neurodiversity. I think it's also something to like share my story, which, like I've said before, there's a lot that I could talk about, but I am just choosing certain things to pull out for today. Throughout the past 18 years of my life, there has been so much, like, I know everybody thinks that you could make a movie with their life, but I think that it's kind of interesting, not only being able to visually be entertained, and also if you haven't spoken to me a while and you're watching this, like, that's really cool. I know this is really bad quality, but I'm editing this 2 weeks after I recorded it, and this is what I look like now. So, I'm getting embarrassed. I hope to keep this podcast going maybe few episodes in college. I think the biggest message that I'm hoping to like share is the fact that your differences are not deficits. I think the biggest message I'm trying to convey in this series, at least, is the fact that your differences are not deficits. If people can't appreciate you for who you are right now, then you don't need those people in your life. Normalize the conversation, normalize the topic, normalize neurodiversity. It shouldn't be a conversation that people are scared to talk about or honestly like embarrassed to talk about. I think it's something that you don't have to wear it on your sleeves if you don't want to, but normalizing this topic would be a huge change that I would like to make. And I know that can't be a global thing, but that can at least start from where I'm from. Being seen as less has created my own mindset whenever I was younger, at least, that I was less or dumb. And I think it took me a very long time to figure out I'm not dumb. I'm not dumb at all. I think teachers have thought I'm dumb before like this conversation has been more normalized. Next episode, I'm going to be bringing on a guest and my friend Avery. She is one of my co-presidents for LDSU, which is a affinity group that I started in 8th grade, and I'm carrying on all the way through 12th grade. It's Learning Differences Student Union, and we've done a lot of really cool activities, and I'm going to bring her on here, and she's going to talk a bit about LDSU and her own struggles and things that she excels at, because she's dyslexic and she has ADHD, which is also bringing other points of views into this conversation. I don't think this needs to be a dyslexia only space. Like, yes, it's definitely a safe space, but if you identify as neurodivergent, you should definitely keep watching, because I have a lot of really cool and fun things planned. If you were to ask me who has been my biggest support, where to even start? My best friend since kindergarten, sometimes we'll be reading stuff and I'll be like, this is stressing me out. And she'll be like, okay, what do you need help with? And then she'll just help me break it down, because not only can you reach out to your friends and be like, hey, this is what I need help with sometimes, And it's not an embarrassing thing, and if they make it embarrassing, like I said, like, then they obviously, first of all, aren't as mature as you, and second of all, some strengths that I have found, which, let me just tell you, my entire high school experience, I was always searching for something, like, am I becoming a doctor? Am I gonna be a super athlete? Everybody with dyslexia does have a superpower, and I think it just takes a while to find it. I found acting, and that is my absolute life. I love acting, my favorite thing to do in the whole wide world. Such an insane thing to find. I also learned that my creativity goes further than just being a good artist or painter. I love doing crafts. I absolutely love it. It's my favorite. I have 2 craft bins in my room right now. I've been working on a sweatshirt, which I can show you guys next time. If you are watching this and you're oh my gosh, I like actually stutter so much. It's making this so hard. Biggest piece of advice to you right now, if you're neurodivergent, without a doubt, I think you've had moments where you felt you've been less than, and I want you to know you are not dumb. Whatever is said in the world, you are not dumb. You are not less than. You are normal. Okay, so I think people who are neurodiverse are potentially the normal ones, and everybody else is the weird one. There isn't weird people. I think in reality, it's just how do you see the world. It took me till I was 15, maybe even 16, to find what I was good at. And even now, like, I don't know. I'm only 18 years old. There's the whole world ahead of me that I genuinely don't know. I just want to let you guys know, in the future, episodes are going to be 20 to 30 minutes. I'm going to be incorporating a lot of people, from adults, parents, students, teachers, faculty. There is a lot coming. I have some of my friends coming on. We are also going to bring in topics such as anxiety, depression, and how those are also considered learning differences now. If you want to share a story or anything and you don't feel comfortable with coming on my podcast, or you don't have a way to physically do that, that's totally okay. You can DM me, email me, everything. It will be on my website. Please check out PhoebeSpeaks.com for more details. I hope you guys feel good, I hope you guys feel happy, and I hope you guys feel connected in some ways after watching this first episode. Okay, kind of cliche, but I'm gonna be doing a quote at the end of every episode. Okay, I think the best way to sum up this episode is probably to be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Ralph Waldo Emerson. So I did forget to do that. Also, it's a different day, but I'm finally editing the last part. But I forgot to do the quote in the other videos. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for watching or listening. Check out the description to find where you can swipe up, share your own stories, or leave a comment or a like or a repost if you were entertained, and I hope you guys follow along and keep watching for more and super cool fun things that are coming soon. Really quick, I want to thank Providence Charter School for making this podcast possible. They provided me with a business grant to start, and whenever I first saw it, I was like, okay, I need to apply to this. Like, this is the thing for me. But then I was like, what am I going to start? And I realized, hey, why not share my story? Stay tuned. But yes, I want to give a big thank you to Providence Charter School again, because without them, I wouldn't be able to be where I am today, and I would not be able to make this podcast possible. So thank you. If you don't follow me already, check out my Facebook, Instagram, and website. Just check out my website for all the details and everything. PhoebeSpeaks.com. Okay, bye.